I'm going to have to redo. Oh, now I'm live? I don't know what happened there. I'm supposed to be live. Am I live? Now I'm live. Sorry it took so long.
I'm not seeing it yet.
Oh, no, it's just showing up now. I have no idea why that took so long. Sorry about that, everyone.
It's the countdown without going live.
I played the countdown and we did end up going live. Sorry about that. Took me a few minutes. 5 minutes of nothing. Sorry. Thank you all for staying around. This is what we get when we're in a different place than we normally do. We're broadcasting from our hotel room in Brimfield, and now Rick sees us. So I didn't realize that was a broadcast. I've been babbling on for like 5 minutes.
You're lucky I'm looking at my phone.
I'm glad you are looking at your phone. So there he is behind me. Yay! Finally.
Forgive me if you hear snoring.
We are very tired because we actually have been up and shopping from 7:30 this morning until 5 o'clock straight. Gaily forward. We didn't actually, we sat down a couple of times. We took a couple of breaks. But today it's all about what we did while we were there. I thought we'd show you a video that sort of gives you an idea on what happens with Brimfield. So Brimfield is this little farmer town, one road in on both directions, both sides. And Highway 20. And when you come in from Sturbridge or you come in from the other place, I can't remember where, it's one road. That's it. Ludlow. One road. And so I'm going to get the peanut gallery making. So I got to, so one road in from both directions. Normally, morning like this, it took us about 15 minutes from Sturbridge. Tomorrow morning should be the same. Thursday morning, it can take up to 2 hours to take that one road in. So you have to make sure you go early. And the reason behind that is there are field after field after field that open up at different times over the course of the entire week. So today was the very first day. One field opened at 7 o'clock this morning. A brand new field opened up at 7 o'clock this morning in J&J's area. So that started at 7, plus about 7 or 8 fields or areas where there were stalls that opened this morning, and they'll stay open the entire day. The field that opened at 7 actually closes today. It's just a one-dayer. Then there was another field that opened at 11 on the complete opposite side. So it was a really long walk that we had to do to get to that field that opened at 11. And we wished we hadn't, but I'll get back to that. A big hi to everybody who's joined us here. Again, sorry it took me a little while. Hey, Joel, Diana, Janet, thank you for popping in here to see us. Carl, and again, sorry that it was a little delay. Donna, Tina, that's what we got here. Lisa, hello. And who else we got? Hey, Heather, missing you. Linda, Candace. Hey, Sherry and Nellie, thanks for popping in too. Dawn, I got a photo just for you. You can probably guess what it's going to be. Lisa, welcome back from the UK. Hope you had an amazing little trip there. Let's see. Emily, who just did her first Whatnot show. And we just got paid. We got the referral fee. So we're going to split the referral fee. And I know you probably say, enough about Whatnot. No, it's not enough about Whatnot. We really want you to think about that. Let's see who else we got here. Yeah, just in case, because that's where I find out now the video is not playing. So we're after. Hey, Matt. I'm still confused about what you want me to look for. I found so many shot glasses today.
Measuring cups with advertising.
I know what you say, Rick, but it doesn't help. It didn't help me at all. Hey, Kendra, thanks for popping in to see us. Hey, Heather. You've not watched us in too long. I'm glad to see you back here. So it was an interesting day today. And I think what I'll start off with is how we actually we're building a little YouTube video, but here's what the day sort of
probably
looks like.
More than 1,000 vendors here at Brimfield, and depending on the day, a different field might open and add another 200 or 300. Some of the fields, like here and across the street, are open for the entire week, starting on Tuesdays. Other fields open on individual days and times.
So, kind of repeating what I said, but that's exactly what happened. So when we got there at 7:30 this morning, we went into this one place. I'm going to show you some of the finds that we had, including a couple of weird things that we found today. Overall, Rick, what do you think? Was it a successful day? We didn't kill each other.
Yeah, no, it was a successful day.
We saw so many big things
Yes. 12-foot tall church doors.
Oh yes, gorgeous 20-foot tall church
12
doors, 12-foot tall church doors. Amazing mid-century modern furniture.
A giant
Tons of that.
pumpkin and black cat blow mold that was bigger than me.
Yes, which we really, really thought about because it was like $60. But you don't buy something big on the very first day. You do find all sorts of interesting stuff though, including stuff like this. And to show you some of the stuff we got, we've seen that today. We've seen a guy who bought a unicycle. Yeah, he bought that. He literally picked us up. He bought it. He tried riding it. That he had to say that he wouldn't have any issues insurance wise. So he bought that. This trailer made out of the back of a car, which I just thought was amazing. So again, if you needed a trailer, what better kind of trailer you could have for that? Because it's a penny farthing. Oh, not a unicycle. Oh my goodness, I am so bad. I'm so bad. Penny farthing. I'm too young to know what those things are. I guess some of those unicycle. Oh yeah, I guess shame. For me, it's a unicycle. There was only one big wheel that I could see. Hey, Tamara. And Heather, no, we didn't see Paul and Ken. We never met them last year, so we think we saw their tent, but we're really not sure. And it was quite busy for them. There were a number of tents that had their mid-century modern stuff in it. So this is a trailer. I know I got this right. It's a trailer. I know I got this right. It's the Flintstone Mobile. Yes, they actually, the amount of gigantic things that are brought to this place are, I don't even, truck trailer after truck trailer that is filled with stuff like this. And all I can think of is these people, because we've seen some guy today who had probably a 15 to 20 foot solid carved wood dining room table. So giant dining room table. We saw him in the field that only opened today at 11. So he only could put out to that field closed today at like 4. So he's got to move that again because it wasn't selling. And it's like, how these people bring gigantic things down there. It's amazing. I know that was like, I had to, the Flintmobile. Yeah. Kevin, what's that Flintstone car? So again, this is the kind of stuff, it's the stuff you wouldn't normally believe you would see down here. This is a guy who had artwork. Now, the artist was an unknown, but he bought this entire guy's stuff out. And it was these amazing pinup art pieces. Like, if you collected pinup art, I mean, take a look at how nice some of this stuff looks. It's so well done. Now, the funny thing about this guy was he had probably about 60 or 70 paintings from this guy. But he wanted about $200 a painting, which is a little steep for an artist that we had no idea who it was. But the interesting thing was he had all these pinup girls. Then all of a sudden he stopped painting pinup girls and started painting farm scenes. We weren't exactly sure why. He didn't know why either. He said, I guess the pinup girls stopped coming by, and he was sitting in a farm going, I guess I got nothing else to do, so it's time for me to paint farms. His interest waned. So, maybe one of the pinup girls married him and said, enough of that. You have to start painting barns and stop painting my friends. But it was an interesting kind of thing to see. I love looking for toys, as you know, and that's one of the major things we found today, a number of different things like that. This was actually this great little set that was in the original box. This was amazing. I couldn't find the second picture of it. This is Disney's Space Carnival, and it is actually, you can sort of see down the corner here, this is actually, the whole carnival is complete. This is a giant, like 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot box. You can build these 3 toys out of it. There you can see the parts of it on the side there. I'm going to bring that down here. There. Take a look at all those little things. Amazing. If you're a Disney fanatic, then you would go nuts for like something like this. We are Disney fanatics, but we weren't going to go nuts for $350, which is what he wanted for it.
I was considering it.
Rick was considering it, but then I actually said when we walked out of that space, we would never build these. So, but it did look amazing, and I couldn't see the remotes. It's an electric set, and I could not see the remote or the electric pieces for it. So this is something every year we seem to find something we've never seen before. So last year, admittedly, we don't know everything about everything in any way, shape, or form. So last year, hold on a second, did that wrong screen. Last year, we found Christmas bulbs. It's surprising. They were Christmas bulbs that were shaped like all sorts of different things, like hand painted Christmas bulbs. So it's like all these really funky things. Like we bought a box of them.
Yep.
We've sold a bunch of them, but we literally neither of us had actually seen them before. So this year, this is what we found this year. And Lisa knows, let's say, like bottle stoppers. Yeah, we had no idea that we'd never seen anything like this. So these are Cork bottle stoppers. And the thing that's really neat about it is in many of the cases, they move. They have like a switch. So this guy here with the cigar, there's a switch in the back that when you move it, his eyes switch from one to the other. This guy in the green hat, he opens and closes his mouth. Same as this old lady. There's a little pull switch at the back that opens and closes the mouth. But I've never seen anything like this. And what happens right after we see this? 5/10 later, we see another box of them. And then later on today, we saw another box. Now, that box of them, which was about, let's see, I think there were 10 in there, Rick, or something?
Yeah.
There were 10 in there, and he wanted $200 for the 10 of them. So it's like, oh, this is not something that if you don't know anything about it, not something that you want to just. And it's not like that was weird because literally, as we went to the other places, that's the pricing. The one person who had them all priced individually is like, I want 25 for these kind. He showed a couple that was stuck on one bottle, and when you press the thing, they turn their heads to kiss. Again, something we've never seen, and I expect we'll see more of them as well. So it looked like they're hand carved. Again, quite interesting, like cute little things. A lot of detail on them. Then you see things that you thought you'd never see, which is
Cat People Party!
A Cat People Party from 1982. There's the Cat People Party from 1982. Meow. There's my shirt. You can see the reflection of my shirt in there. In P-Town. And this is a hand-drawn Remy Cooper, I think is the name. If Adrian is here, he might even know who the heck this is. Oh, Emily said that she found some of those, not the P-Town thing, she found some of the corks, those corks, and said they were big in Quebec.
I can see
that. This is big with other people. The cat. Oh, geez, the cat guy. So, a Cat People Party from 1982. It's the furries from 1982. Again, just something I thought was amazingly interesting. And then here we go, Dawn, just for you. It's postcards. Lots of postcards. Yay, postcards. There are, again, many. Not as many as we've seen before, but I think there are. Hey, Shelly. I think there's about 4 major vendors that do postcards in here this year. It used to seem like there was a lot more. There are a number of people who have like small lots. But it was just, again, the kind of thing that you could probably spend a day, and they are so organized and everything like that. So it was interesting to see those kind of things. On top of that, you start finding things that are just the slightest bit different. And that's where I have to go to. It's literally the very first thing that we bought, and it is the 1976 Tickle Finger by Eugene Viscioni. The Tickle Finger, as you can see, is this. It just yelled Craig and Rick together because it's a puppet with googly eyes, but it's not just the fact that it's a puppet with googly eyes. There's a side of the Tickle Finger. These are like, look at this. It's got the real, like a real label to it. Why does it have a real label to it? Because this guy actually copyrighted, patented, and started making it. Look at, we got part of what we got from them as well. The design form. And we're actually potentially picking up the trademark pieces from this guy on Thursday. We managed to find with what he got. So this is the Tickle Finger. Look at this picture. These are all larger Tickle Fingers. So I guess these would be called Tickle Fists. I don't know. This is just terrible. But here, this is the more Tickle Finger. Now, we just couldn't resist something like that. Now, you think we're insane. Well, yes, we are insane. There's baby Tickle Fingers. There's a little bit larger Tickle Fingers.
Be careful when you Google Tickle.
Yes, watch when you Google Tickle Fingers. They're all the same kind of size, and they're all sealed in their packages. And guess what? These were $6 for $1. Would you have picked up 6 Tickle Fingers? Look, fat finger Tickle Fingers, baby finger Tickle Fingers. Look at this. Look at the difference in sizes. Look at there. You got. It doesn't matter what size your Tickle Finger needs to be. You've got different sizes for everybody. Yeah, we're so insane that yes, we also made sure that we bought the Tickle Fist. Tickle Fist #1. And Tickle Fist #2. And again, look, they have real labels on the Tickle Fingers and the Tickle Fists. Yes, we bought every one that he had. There's a tinier Tickle Muff. And I think my favorite of them all is the dapper Tickle Man. Tickle Tux. I know, it's a little crazy, isn't it? But we got all these tickle things for under $30. So we could not resist it. It happened to be the very first thing that we actually ended up seeing down there. So yes, we bought a batch of Tickle Fingers because it was just something we needed to do. Whoever created it is a spirit animal. And yes, it does have kind of Elvis hair. He says he's going to try and find more. So that's just it. He said he's going to try. Why is one sad? Which one is sad? Oh, that's happy. Oh, yes, this one is. This is the sad Tickle Fist. I'm not going into this anymore. It's time to move on, I think, from the Tickle Fist. So sometimes we find stuff that does look really neat, and this happened to be just down the way from where they were. And tell me, this is kind of the thrifter to throw it world of when we're talking about stuff. This is what we found. This is a box, and inside the box were Villeroy and Bosch Paloma Picasso. Now, when you think of Paloma Picasso, when you think of Picasso, you would think that these particular things would be amazing, right? You'd think design-wise, they would be like fabulous. There'd be so much color, so much everything to them. Well, we actually picked these up. And this is how fabulously designed they are. It's a plain glass dish. Made in Germany. So it's brand new. Villeroy and Bosch. It has the Paloma Picasso on the bottom, like etched down here at the bottom. Now, the thing about them is if you saw something like that, you may go, I don't know. Now, Rick was like, I don't want these. So there is a large one in the box. You can see there. And there were 6 of these smaller ones in the box. Well, Rick was like, I don't want these. And I said, Rick, there's just something about Paloma Picasso, and I need to ask him about them. I need to find out what it is that that they are. Um, I know I've got, huh? Yeah, I'm getting there. I gotta do everything by myself today. Yeah, whenever you find it, and we didn't look it up. No, I did not look it up at all. I just grabbed it. And this is what I found was that the pre-owned, there is that crystal cut bowl for $28. And ours is brand new. In fact, when I went to Solds, there were a few others in there, 13, 20. I found one when I actually looked after the fact that was, so I can't find it right now. There it is, this one. This is the large one that we have actually in, this is the large one that we have in the box. If I can get to it. Where are you? Where'd you go? Down there somewhere. There, come on. There, no, where are you? Big one. There we are. Sold for $219. So I would think that it would be more primary colors, but this is so plain. And I asked the guy, how much do you want for all 7 pieces? How about $30? Sold. Can't go wrong with $30. There's no way on earth I could go wrong with a $30 buy there. So we did pick that up. We also, while we happened to be there, we were walking in this, and we found this amazing little booth that had some great stuff. We bought an amazing set of double stacked little end tables from this couple. We also found, I don't know if I brought it in here. We found this amazing, yeah, that's theirs, right? Amazing ashtray. I'm just asking for him for it right now. It's an amazing ashtray. Take a look at this. Mid-century ashtray. It's in great shape. A couple of little tiny chips on here, but I love the pattern on it. And not only that, but I poked myself with this so many times. In the corner, they had this set, and this is a teak corkscrew. Take the corkscrew from me. I've poked myself with this so many times. Knife, and you'll see it is marked Playboy. So this is a Playboy bar set. And so we picked this up. We picked up the 2 things. We picked up the tables, and we're talking to this couple, and they were like, we know you from Mount Dora in Florida. And we were like, no, we don't go to Mount Dora or anything like that. And they said, well, there's something that ended up happening, and we ended up saying that it was, we came all the way from Toronto, and literally we got you're Bad Dog and Good Dog. Yes, we were recognized at Brimfield by somebody who watches our shows and maybe watching that. So Nancy and Steve, thank you so much for your amazing stuff that you sold to us today. You can see some stuff that's in their booth that was just wild. Like they have these red wall lamps, these metal wall lamps. I still am debating about whether I should have got them or not. Take a look at, I don't know if I got pictures of too many other things in there behind them, but they had just some really, really neat stuff. So hello to the 2 of you. Thank you so much. It was actually very strange. It's actually the second time, because in Buffalo, we went to the flea market, and in Buffalo, we're looking at something, and somebody says Bad Dog. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how. We're not like the people who have 40,000 members, but again, thank you for watching us, and thanks for the great stuff that you actually bought from you. this is something we didn't know whether to buy or not. And I want your guys' opinion on whether you would buy something. I have never seen this set before. So this is a set of milk glass mugs. They're by Federal. And I thought, like, I didn't know. This is one of those things you kind of go, I don't know whether I would resell these or whether I would keep them. They were so funky. But at the same time, their design was just a little off. Now, if you look at this, you'll see on this one, the sort of greenish, the potato, the steak, and the, I don't know, are all centered. But if you go to the end one, they're all off center. So I think that the dots are all supposed to be in the middle of these things. There's the black one up there too. So it's a little on, little off. I thought they were amazing. They wanted $30 for the set of 4. So would you have gone as high as $30 for a set of these? Again, it's nice. That's the one thing. It's so much fun to see so much stuff you've never seen before. I think that's part and parcel of what we love about Brimfield. More so than any kind of antique mall or flea market or estate sale. You see a lot of stuff, but here we just see item after item after item that is just, Joan says, not at 30, not at 30, no, not at 30. Lisa would buy 4 for 30. Not at 30. Papaya, apple, blueberry, and raspberry. It's an apple, pear, and grape clusters. Okay. It looks like ants. Your limit would be 20. Rick actually said if they were 20, he would have picked them up. Barter's 25. No, 20.
Actually, the guys that ran the booth weren't bartering with anyone.
No, they were they were non-barter people.
New York club kids.
Yeah, it was a New York club kid kind of thing. So sometimes, actually, this is something else that I found funny. I thought about this later on today. When somebody comes to you with a deal or what you think is a deal, you would think that there's an ingrained part of you, even as a thrifter, that if you've got somebody who quotes you a price, you're going to go lower. I don't. On some things I did, but I didn't. When the guy said you can have the Tickle Fingers, 6 for $5. What am I going to say? How about 3? I mean, I guess I could have, but then when he put everything together, I said, oh yeah, how about, he said 30. I didn't want to go down from 30. There were a number of things that we bought today that I didn't even question. The price that got thrown at me is the one that I actually took. There's a couple of things that we did actually bargain on. I don't even know if they're all here. Oh yeah, those.
Oh yeah.
Are those from this? Yeah, those are from the same person, aren't they?
Yeah. Along with the.
So we went to this one girl, and tomorrow, crossing our fingers. So we bought some plush. I don't even know if I think I got a picture of it on my phone. So let me just see. Question: what's the vintage clothing like, Shelley? It's amazing. There are people who fly here from Japan just to shop. There are entire booths there's entire tents. There's a tent that's at the very first area that is just literally. Some people dump it out, and it's literally piles. We saw one guy. He literally had probably 25 giant green garbage bags, and he just ripped them open and let them fall out into piles. And then people were like zombies at blood, digging right after them. I'm just trying to see if there's the other thing that we got from her. Oh, so this one person we actually picked up 3 things from. We picked up 6 or 7 things from her. So this is the first thing we found, which I thought they were really cute. So this was things I have not seen. A Fidwick from Dr. Seuss plush in the box. A Yertle the Turtle plush in the box. And this little dog. And the little dog is actually, we couldn't find this one. His name is, I don't know if you're going to see that or not. No, I don't think so. It's Pickles. It's a Beatrix Potter dog. Now, they had about 7 other Beatrix Potter figures. Mrs. Jemima Puddle Duck, Mrs. Tiddlywinks, a frog, a pig, things I don't even recognize. I didn't even recognize who that was. So we're asking about the price. So this is where I worked on a price. So it was like $15 for Wick, $15 for Yertle the turtle, $15 for the dog. Then she had this. Now, this is more in my wheel thing, which is for those of you who aren't sure, this is Tuesday Taylor. Tuesday Taylor is a doll. I'm going to slide this off because this is actually, whoever had this, cut this. This is usually this big. This Tuesday Taylor doll actually has a little scalp you can turn. So she can be a blonde or she can be a brunette. You just turn her hair around. So brand new, mint, great condition. She wanted 20 for Tuesday Taylor. And I thought, it's getting a bit high, but we'll put it over there. We'll put that over there. I have never seen this doll. I just think it's hilarious. Everybody knows of Evel Knievel. Well, have you ever heard of Daring, the Western adventure Evel Knievelish person? Like, this was such a cute thing. And it's actually made by Ideal. So it's like it's
around the graphics on the back is easier to see.
Trick cycle. So she comes with a pop-top camper, a wheelie car. And again, girls, be sure to check out these Dairy Darling products. Girl, I have never seen this. I don't know this doll. I am a giant doll collector. I have never seen this. $10. Why, yes, thank you very much. And then that, right? Was that from the same? That was from the same thing. And then in the middle of all this, so we made a pile. Yep, we're up like $85, $90. This little guy, which I just thought was very weird. So take a look at this guy. He is flocked, and he is a Berlin Schusterner, but he's a little flocked worker boy.
The boots actually go over the front.
He's got his extra little boots that he carries. I think he may be a boot worker. He's got a little cigarette in his mouth, and he has his original box. Berliner Schusterjunger. Well, we did sneak a little peek to try and figure out what this was, and we just held her up and 15. Well, the only thing I could find on this in a quick search, I didn't get to. That's the problem. I didn't get to use TerraPeak. I didn't get to use WorthPoint because my phone sucked down here. That's the only thing. I could only find him listed, roughed up, no little cigarette in his mouth, listed for $175, I think. So that got added to the pile. So we got all this stuff, and that's where I said, what's the best you can do? We ended up getting all of this for $60. Now, I'm not going to counter with how about 50 when she just took over $100 worth of stuff and knocked it down to $60. So I didn't counter on anything like that. So we're really having. Now, the interesting thing is her father is there, and they're like, he looked at us and said, tomorrow, we're out of here at 3:00. Come back afternoon, everything is $1. And I was like, say what? So there is a ton of like mint with tag plushes that are at this back of this booth. So we are going to be going back there probably close to noon. And that's interesting to know. And hopefully I will be spending a couple of bucks. And I will load a tub filled with plush. So they had more Seuss stuff. They had some advertising plush. They had the Eden plush, which we have sold before. But at when we're picking them up and they're saying $15, you don't go, I'm going to pick up more. So we actually made a choice to only pick up the dog because we could not find this dog, Mr. Pickles from Eden Toys. We could not find Pickles anywhere.
He also had a 75th anniversary tag.
A 75th anniversary tag and an original $12 price tag, I guess, from whoever sold him from 1972. So because we couldn't find him, but we weren't going to pull all these other ones together because at that time, I didn't know that she was going to go down to like under $10 a figure. So we missed something at the front. They had MASH figures in their boxes, on their cards. And they wanted $10 for each one of those. And I walked away and then I looked them up and said, I should have bought them. I went back and the son had actually taken them to another dealer to try and get him to buy them. So we actually lost out on something. So that's one of the things that you have to really think about is there's things that you see. It's not, I'm not going to regret missing the mash stuff forever, but every trip, that might be my one regret, right, Rick? I usually have one regret that it's like we went, we saw, we thought about it, we just didn't think long enough, or we thought too long, or there was something actually the other day, Rick, that or was it today? We were looking at, and you looked at it and then walked over to me and said, "What about that thing, the Cork?"
That was
And it went like literally by the time he was pointing at it.
It was a Danish ice bucket.
A Danish ice bucket. So by the time he pointed at it to say, "Go look at that," it was lifted up and taken. Like literally within 20 seconds from when he picked it up, he looked at it, and he put it down. I said, "If you want it, go get it." And he turned, and somebody picked it up and walked away.
But
like,
it had a big chunk out of it. So
there's a pickles on Etsy for $65. So that is, again, if we paid 10, we could put it on Etsy for 40, right? And if we can get the dollar for a bunch more, woohoo! Danish.
There's actually, if we have a big wagon.
We have a wagon. I had to buy one for Rick last year. He said if I didn't buy him a wagon, he was not going to come with us anymore. So we do see other things. So I'm just going to show you. This was.
Did you answer the question about whether we thought prices were high?
No.
Heather Pedler asked the question. My friend who went there today found most of the prices to be way too high for her to purchase for resale. Do you feel the same?
I'm trying to see if I can find the question so I can put it up there underneath it. Do you know where the question was? Way up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, some things, yes, they were very expensive. Other things weren't. That actually leads into something. So I'm gonna show you something that you guys will probably just croak over. Like this setup was absolutely unbelievable. Take a look at the Holt Howards that are here. This is the biggest Holt Howard collection of items I have ever seen in one place. Look at them all. So many Holt Howards. So many rare Holt Howards. I didn't even get to film all of them. I'm going to run that back again. Take a look. When you're doing some of this, like take a quick look at some of this. We got salt and pepper shakers in there. We've got bottoms. We've got tops. We've got oil and vinegar and everything in between there. We have, look at this, the lids. There is, at the back here, you can't see it. I didn't get a good picture of it. Behind these kitties, this kitty in the back here that's pink is a bobblehead.
It's a bank.
It's a bank. Bobblehead bank. This stuff, yeah. This was way high priced. So I asked about a couple of the items that they had. They were 150, 250, 350, higher than eBay in some of the cases. Like, yeah, I don't. It's like somebody died and they got the whole Howard collection. Like, yeah, it was just so much on each one of them. So again, sometimes you can find something that is like, yeah, it was wow to look at, and I ended up spending like, I don't know, 15 minutes just staring at the stuff. So, oh yeah, they're eyeball. You didn't read it. I think it's Holt Howard. I think everything on that was Holt Howard. But again, it was so neat to see something like that and see things that I didn't even know were Holt Howard. And there was a pineapple like jug set that was Holt Howard, and I picked something up and it's Holt Howard. It's like, wow, all of this is Holt Howard. Sometimes you find other things that are just out of the blue and just go, I think this is cute. And I actually don't know whether I paid too much for this or not. Again, I did not look it up. It's something about Brimfield. Sometimes you just pick up. We actually had gone back to the car twice. It was on our third sort of round out, just at 4:30 or so. And I found this little car set, which I thought was really cute. Mini Freewheel flyers. And this is the set of cars. And it actually was the entire box. So it is brand new set. Well, some of them have a little bit of rubs on them here and there, and you can see. So it's a set of 48 of these cars, these mini Freewheel flyers, and I've actually got the box right here. But if I turn it, they will all end up falling all over the place. So I'm not going to end up doing that. I took the picture of them here, but I can do this to show you. So again over here. So yeah, so they're die-cast metal trucks. So very cute. At the end of the day, there were 48 of these, and he wanted $50 for all of them in the box. And I decided that I am going to risk that for this because I think car people will go nuts on that. I'm going to list that on an auction and probably start it at about $100 on something like that. I don't know how much we will end up selling Mr. Tickle Fingers for of any kind, or the happy one, or the sad Tickle Fist. But I hope I find some more of them. That's all I can say with those. Heather is saying to Heather, I'm not experienced. I just sort of feel that at a flea market, prices should be lowered. Has that changed? Well, this is kind of a combination because it's Brimfield Antique Flea. So you see things here that are gigantic. It actually has flea in its name now in some places. But you see stuff in here that is like tossed out of an estate sale. So you find people who literally open a box and throw stuff. You find people who meticulously put things together. You find like Heather's friend Paul does MCM stuff. There are $3,000 dining room suites here. There are $500 vases here. There are also $40 vases. And we actually found our first thing today, actually, Rick. I think we saw some Hot Wheels track that I bought some track at out of Hot Wheels, vintage 1967 Hot Wheels play pieces. And the guy had 5 of them. And I thought, these 2 don't look good. These 3 do. I picked up the 3 of them. I picked the 3 of them up for $20. I should be able to get about 75 to 100 for them. Well, I left 2. Well, guess what? At another booth later on in the day, those 2 were at another booth, and they were asking 25 for them. We also saw a painting that moved from booth in the morning to booth in the afternoon, and it was 2 different fields, so it wasn't the same person, and the price of it probably went up. So we always try and find one of those 2 things to see it move from day to day to day, from dealer to dealer to dealer. Like there's dealers who buy and then they're flipping right off the bat. They're picking from other people. So you can find interesting things. You can find things for $1. You can find. In fact, where did that move? This. So I reached in this one box of stuff that was a bunch of fans and stuff like that. I almost bought 2. This lady had tons of fans, like fold-out fans. And she only wanted $5 a fan. I just didn't know enough about them. I thought about asking her, well, how about I give you $100 for these? Because there were like 30 or 40 fans in there. And I didn't do it. I don't know whether that's probably my one, like, maybe I should have done that one. But right beside her, she had a box filled with fabric. And I pulled a thing of fabric out and I looked at it and I said, well, isn't this interesting? Take a look. This is a Roy Rogers and Trigger bolo tie with the Roy Rogers logo on there. And so I held this up and said, strategically placing my hand, what do you want for this? $1. So you can find something like a vintage Roy Rogers bolo tie that will actually, it's in amazing shape. And I don't know how much it's worth, but I know it's worth more than $1 for sure. Right there?
I would hope so.
I would hope so. We also found another guy who had some interesting stuff that we actually, part of the time you actually end up enjoying speaking with someone and you don't. So this one guy, the first thing I saw happened to be, a box. And in the bottom of this box, he had this. Now, I don't know if anybody knows who this is. This is Baby Godzilla. This is a little Baby Godzilla. And this is from 2004 from Bandai, and it still has his little tag on it. Oh, Baby Godzilla, he's so cute. Well, what do I see next to Baby Godzilla? This little guy in the plastic bag. And again, don't know much about these, but I just know I think I should look for certain things. And if I see them, I should go, yeah, time for me to grab them. This again, this is from Bandai, and this is also a Godzilla. Now, the $12 is actually not the price that you would normally see something like this at. This is from Bandai from 1998. So it's an amazing shape. And this guy, another Godzilla figure from Bandai. Now, all of these, you would think, okay, this guy's going to want some money for. Well, he wanted $20. So we got these relatively vintagey Japanese Bandai Godzilla figures, 1997, and Godzilla has a huge following. So this is going to be real. Well, so then we start looking around at what other stuff he happens to have, and he had. Did we bring we had the Wigglers? Did we bring those here?
No.
He had a bag full of the little jiggly Wiggler things that we have sold actually for. Huh? Oh, there. He had this bag. This little bag, and this has what are known as jigglers. So hey, Big Panther, thanks for popping in. Jigglers are soft, vintage soft rubber pieces. Now, this is just rubber bat. Again, but complete. So a lot of times you'll find, if you find jigglers, you'll find the little pieces missing on it. This is what most people think of when they hear about a jiggler. These are the kind of things that you would get inside vending machines. Now, again, it's rare to find them in this great a shape. A lot of the times they'd be missing like one, because they're such soft rubber, right? The tongue would go. Emily had the bat. Rodan was the. Some of them are actually finger puppets too. None of these were finger puppets, but there's even a King Kong. This whole baggie, he want $20. Yes, please. I think we may be able to get 50 to 75 just for the bat alone. Then it's like, okay, got to look further in this guy's place because, hey, this is starting to look really interesting. Now, we don't even know if this is real Mickey Mouse. This thing was one of the things he had. Now, this I just thought was so interesting. So this is a wooden bank. Now, it comes apart right now. It's not a bobblehead. There's too tight. You couldn't fit a bobblehead in it. But the interesting thing about it, Emily's going, I got to find my bat. This is the thing that's just interesting. One, it's the old Mickey nose. It's not handmade, and it is a bank with a tin bottom to it. So a vintage, maybe? We weren't able to look this up either, but this was sort of fun because he was like, first he was like, oh, that is a Czechoslovakian Mickey. And then he started telling stories about everything else that we were picking up. Like when we were looking at something else,
that's Romanian.
That's Romanian. And so we saw this. So this is interesting. Disney, I got to ask actually in a Disney board on Facebook if anybody knows about what this is, because again, no markings, nothing that says Walt Disney Productions, Walt Disney, anything like that. But this is not a homemade item. There's no way this is homemade. This is a professionally made thing. He said he couldn't find it. I tried Google imaging and couldn't find it. Well, then we find this right beside there, like right near it. So we have the Czechoslovakian Mickey, which he was going to charge us $20 for. And then he said, okay, 15. Sure. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to deal with that. Mr. Wiggles, the Slinky Bunny. So the thing that got us on this was in the bottom corner, it actually says, in Canada, it's from a company in Toronto. I know you can't see it. It's like, it's hard to get the focus on that. And I said, it's in Toronto, and we're from Toronto. And he goes, it's from Toronto, Serbia. Like so he just had a love joking around with us. And again, this is in amazing shape, and it is a Slinky Bunny with slinky rabbit ears. So it's kind of like the dog from Toy Story, if you're used to a slinky dog. No wheels. It's not a real Slinky, but again, very interesting. What else did he have? A Mascot Bunny. Well, I need a lot more money for Mascot Bunny. Well, this Mascot Bunny, again, little thing. And again, we don't necessarily know a lot about some of these things. We just grab them because we're looking at these, and there were 3 or 4 other people in the booths, and we were like, we're not going to let other people grab these. And he seems to be having fun dealing with us and where we're from and where these are from, Serbia, whatever. Take a look at this guy. He's in amazing shape. Right? He's a little Mascot Bunny made in Japan. He's a wind up. Don't know if he winds well, or what he's supposed to do actually when he winds. Oh, his front looks like it's going to hop. But he wanted, because I need a lot more money for that. Well, what's a lot more money? How about 15? And let's make Mr. Wiggles 5. So all of a sudden he's just dropped his prices tremendously on some things like that. So we got that. And then to top it off, who doesn't need, we've already started the day off with this strange finger puppet. Well, you know what you have to follow up a finger puppet with? A Bungee Bungee. What the heck is a Bungee Bungee? Well, again, we looked like anything that was, especially when you're looking at stuff that's Japanese made. And this actually, the Bungee Bungee, is you can see him in there. He's a octopus that you hit him on the head and he spins and screams. So this is made in China, but it was a whole $5 for a Bungee Bungee, which he said was not made in China. So it's just, again, sometimes you're having fun with the people who are there, and you just don't stop with what you're doing when you're having fun with people. We found what I guess these are called something. These are in the States. This is not something that we're used to finding actually in Canada. At least I'm not used to finding. But I believe this is what you call a trapper keeper. Now, you U.S. people can tell me if I'm right, because I just don't know, but I've heard about them. So I found this trapper keeper, yes, for 75 cents at a booth. So take a look at this. This is the kind of thing. So it's by Mead. Oh, look at the puppies. Look at the pet the puppies, Lenny. And this is the inside of it with the. So I think this might be a trapper keeper. But I really don't know it, because I thought trapper keeper said trapper keeper, but Heather Peddler, is that a trapper keeper? And for 75 cents, I mean, who's going to pass something like that up? Here you go. A few other things that we picked up for ourselves to try and figure out what we're going to do with them. These are probably going to end up being Mead, and they were huge in the 80s. Yay! It was just a guess. And sometimes you have to guess, because just like Sandy's saying, yep, sure it is. It sure is. Thank you for confirming it's a trapper keeper. Now I know when I'm going to. And they're Havanese puppies. Yeah. So we wanted a Havanese puppy at one point. And you had them in Winnipeg. I guess in the 80s, I really wasn't into binders because I'm old.
You finished school.
And I'm old, yeah. So we do find other things too, and this is something else that we found. And this was $10, and it was a bunch of vintage cards. So this entire bag filled with vintage cards. Yes, thank you for all the keywords. Thank you very much. So again, on Whatnot, we've actually done a couple of ephemera shows. And when we've done them, we've actually done well with vintage cards. So we're looking for lots of things like that. So when you've got something like this, we can go through it at a later date. Costs us $10. We'll split it up. And when we can easily probably turn that into $40 or $50 on Whatnot in one of our ephemera shows. So we're always looking for stuff like that. So we'll be looking at them for more of those kind of things tomorrow, as well as on Thursday. The way that it's working is tomorrow we have to get get up bright and early again and leave at around 7. Leave it around 7 in the morning.
Yep.
And one field opens at 6, which is called New England Motel. We usually don't run into that. The next field opens at 9, which we will be going to, which is called Heart of the Mart. Its prices went up this year. It's now $10 per person to go in. And then at noon, a place called Hertan's, which used to be wide open, and last year they closed it off behind fences, now charges $5 per person. That opens at noon. So we have 3 fields that probably have at least another 300 plus vendors at them that we will go to tomorrow. Hopefully they'll be better than the field we went to today. The way that we sort of stretched it out, if this is Brimfield, if you see the screen that we're on right now is Brimfield. We started out up here, and this field opened at 7 o'clock. That's over here, and we got to it at 8. Walk. This field opened at 11, the complete opposite end. We got ourselves down there at 11:30 because we took a lot longer up in the fields than we're up in here, especially when we're talking to people about the Bungee Bungee and the Tickle Finger guy. And with that, we walked all the way down. We had to pay $10 to go into this field that last year was okay. The year prior that we went, which was pre-COVID, it was pretty good. And we'd actually bought a bunch of stuff in it a couple of years like before that. This year, it was about half of what it was last year in terms of vendors. There were not even half the vendors that were there from last year. So Heather, when you come down next year, you do not go all the way down to the Tuesday morning one. It's not worth going down for the 11 o'clock show. We paid $10. We walked the whole thing in less than a half an hour, Rick.
Yeah.
And we left with nothing. So that's the challenge. Most of the places have $5 per person fees because they're closed. So tomorrow we'll have $5 per person at New England Hotel. We'll have $10 per person at Heart of the Mart. We'll have $5 per person at the Hertan. So we're going to spend $40 for the 2 of us just to go into those 3 fields. And then Thursday we'll be spending $5 for the Maze field. Plus we're spending $12 a day to park, and parking is between $12 and $20 here as well. And lunch is not easy. The food is good. The food trucks are really good, but our lunch, 2 turkey sandwiches, cost us almost $30. So, like, but when you get your fingers to Canada, they become French ticklers. Let's see. So
You're not touching me.
I don't know. We didn't open them up for the cards. Some look used, some look really, really nice. So plus hotel, plus gas, yes. So, but we look at this as a vacation. If we were going as well, when we're having a lot of fun, we're doing a lot of like shopping that we would only do a couple of times a year. You'd never see all this kind of stuff in one day. It's the equivalent of your trip to England to go into a couple of boot sales. We don't look at the hotel and the gas as part of what we're purchasing. If we did, then this little guy is going to cost us $400 kind of thing. So we're not going to, we can't look at stuff like that. We look at that on the side and go, this is the price to get to Disneyland. The fact that it's $500 for the 2 of us to go into Disneyland and ride the rides, that's another. So that's kind of how we actually like do it. So yes, $30 for 2 sandwiches. The food trucks here are $13, $20, $15 for a sandwich or a hamburger or anything like that. Hey, fresh squeezed lemonade, $7 for a glass. So some of that stuff is expensive. So you prepare for it, and we are prepared. We have a cooler in the car. We have we stop at on the way down there. We stop at Dunkin' Donuts on our way here. So we have fresh donuts in the car. We have coffee. We have the cooler filled with, like Rick had his grapes. I had my peanut butter sandwiches, my Smucker's Uncrustables, so that we could stop. And so we took breaks too during the day. We took a break between one field and another and sat for 15 minutes. We took a break and sat for 15 minutes for lunch. Then we took a break again around 3 o'clock, and then we did our last 2 fields. So I gave Rick 45 minutes of rest, and other than that, I had him pulling the cart around the entire time. Yeah, we do get free breakfast at the hotel that we at. That's true. Yeah, and our Dr. Pepper. Yeah, we had our Dr. Pepper here. So that's a little Bob next year. So, and yes, Lisa, you did go to the UK to go to a car boot. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. Sometimes you find things that you had when you were a kid, like the other thing I found today, which I think I'm pretty good on with this, is the last thing I'm going to show you, is I picked up the one doll that my dad let me have when I was a kid, which is a Johnny West doll by Marks. He has molded clothing. He's in actually really good shape for these dolls. Great like rubber gripping hands. But not only him, he was 15. They had these other two Marks ones, which I think this is Stony Smith, this one, and I don't know who that one is. But they were 15. Oh, 15, 15, and 15. Oh, this is when I did. Will you take 30? And yeah, I did get the three of these guys for 30. So this was a toy I had when I was a kid, but these two are going to go for resale. I know there's other stuff that I'm going to find. Today I found some more Hot Wheels stuff, track that I want to buy. The guy wanted $100 for it. It wasn't sold. It's right beside where that woman's going to have her dollar sale, hopefully at noon tomorrow. So we're going to go to a field at 9. And then around noon, we're going to head back to the other field and see if there's plushes still there at $1. And then I'm going to go to the back to the guy who had the $100 worth of Hot Wheels and see if I can get it for 70, because it'll be day 2. So it's fun, right? I'm still being good to you. I'm making sure that he's having his breaks and everything. Did you want to show that one little cow you bought? This is one of Rick's purchases. He bought very few things today, but this is one of the things that he bought that he really, really likes. And I kept telling him, if you want something, just tell me. And I kept showing him stuff, and everything I showed him, he was like, no.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
He's saying no a lot, but I'm like, if you want it, it's yours. Take a look at this little guy. This is a bank. And the bottom is marked with something. I can't tell what that says on the bottom of it. It's like a U and a C, but the rest of it's folded over. And it's a bank. But it's not just a little bit. He's a nodder bank. So it's the cow nodder. And what ends up happening is when you drop a coin in, he'll start nodding, because the coins will actually hit
His neck.
the part of his neck and make him nod. So this was $14? $12. So he let me buy him that for $12, which I thought, at least I got him one thing that he can say that it's his, and and he's got his one thing for him, and I have my Elvis.
I got the Furby in the box.
I got a Furby in the box too for
He was $13.
I've also got my Elvis Tickle Finger, Tickle Fist from 1976. Again, I have to look these guys up. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with these, but he just needs a little cleaning. He's just been in a box for a little while. So thank you so much for watching us tonight on our Brimfield Day 1. We might do a Brimfield Day 2, depending on what we end up getting tomorrow. If we do, you'll find out about it probably closer to 6 o'clock, because it'll be once we've actually figured out what we bought and brought it back. I won't have any more Tickle Fingers, that's for sure, because he said no, he's not going to be able to bring those till Thursday. So Thursday I may get some more Tickle Fingers, but at the end of the day, you never know. So we've had fun. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about how things happen in the Brimfield area. We will be putting together a YouTube video that's got a lot more pieces to it. And again, we're going to be posting stuff onto our Instagram and TikTok pages that are little shorts. That we just did one, which was MCM stands for Mid-Century Madness, with some of the stuff that we saw here. We've got one I'm building just after this that's going to be, these are the weird things some of the weird things that we found for this. So yeah, he's in a tux too, that's true. And sure. Living vicariously through us. Thank you, Susan. Thanks for the good luck and enjoy. Yes, you cannot stand hearing Tickle Fist. I don't know what to call it. It's called a Tickle Finger. It is a Tickle Finger. It isn't, but it's a very big finger. Look, Tickle Finger. There it is. Eugene somebody. So the tickle, but this is not a finger. I put my hand in there anyway. At least it would totally go to Brimfield if it wasn't so far away. Yes. Thank you, Kendra. We hope to have fun. And again, we hope you'll have fun watching us tonight, and that you'll have fun watching us. And sorry again about the extra 5 minutes you had to wait. I didn't realize I wasn't live. Good dog. My Sherpa. There he is. Look up. Say hello. Thank you. Thanks for watching. We will see you again real soon. Real soon. Us and our tickle fingers and everybody else that's out here and Mickey. Oh, if I'm a real Mickey, this will be great. I think I need a nap.